Hello and welcome to CATEX TV. Today is Tuesday, the 12th of April. Lloyd's insurer Marketform is close to a deal with Enstar subsidiary Shelbourne to reinsure to close its 2007-year open book that houses its toxic Italian medical malpractice book. The deal will take Marketform, which is currently being overhauled by recently installed CEO Martin Reith, one step closer to ending its involvement in the med-mal market where it originated. Sources said that Marketform would run an auction with Lloyd's legacy providers to determine which carrier it would use to reinsure to close the open year. According to Marketform's recently filed Syndicate 2468 accounts, net reserves for the 2007 year stood at £104.9 million, with £33 million of gross reserves for claims incurred but not reported. Still in the Lloyd's market, there was little optimism to be found come the end of the year 2015. In their syndicate annual reports, active underwriters, board members bemoaned the challenges of a market which is staggering under the weight of its own capacity and suffering from wayward underwriting and battling with broker facilities. The coming year is expected to be little different, they warned. Capacity will continue to flood into the sector, while the most beleaguered classes of business will see scant change in the market forces that are causing rates to plummet. For the energy market, the slump in oil prices has led to a scaling back of insurance demand, while marine, aviation and property markets continue to be awash with levels of capacity that defy loss experience. And now in Stockholm, the Swedish military has admitted that its computers were hacked and used in an attack targeting major US banks in 2013, according to an announcement by the armed forces yesterday. The attack knocked out one of the web pages of as many as 20 major US banks and financial institutions, sometimes for several days. Speaking to the APM, military spokesman Mikael Abrams said that a server in the Swedish defense system had a flaw which was exploited by hackers to carry out the attacks. He said the hacking attack was a kind of wake-up call for us and forced us to take very specific security steps to prevent such a thing happening again. We cannot be more specific about the new security measures, he said, that we put in place, but such an attack could not happen again. The US-based firm Enstar, which protects companies from such attack, said that they can cost financial institutions as much as $100,000 per hour. A Modigliani painting, allegedly looted by Nazis during World War II, has been sequestered in Geneva after the Panama Papers leak uncovered the identity of its current owners. Henry de la Casa, spokesman for Geneva judicial authorities, said a criminal procedure has been opened within the framework of the revelations linked to the Panama Papers. He added that a disputed painting by Italian artist Amedeo Modigliani was sequestered late last week, meaning that it is not allowed to be moved from its current location. The investigation comes after the so-called Panama Papers revealed that Modigliani stored in Geneva Freeports, a heavily guarded toll and customs-free zone, was secretly owned by a wealthy and influential art collector David Namad through the offshore company International Art Center, or IAC. Swiss media reported the painting in question was the 1918 portrait of a man with moustache, hat and cane, known as Seated Man with a Cane. I could not sleep at night if I knew I owned a looted object, he told the individual who was speaking to Swiss media confirmed. The Namad family holds a large collection of around 4,500 pieces, including 300 Picassos, stored at Geneva Freeports. Bermuda will share its register of company ownership with UK authorities following the publication of the Panama Papers earlier this month. Premier Michael Dunkley said that while the island already shares information with British tax authorities if it is requested within 24 hours, he has agreed to extend access after request by the UK National Crime Agency known as the NCA, according to Bermuda's World, he said. Dunkley said the move reflected Bermuda's long-held commitment to deterring money laundering and financial crimes from our shores. Bermudan Finance Minister Bob Richards said the British police have become increasingly frustrated with delays and problems surrounding access to company information. At least 18 soldiers were killed and more than 50 others wounded over the weekend in fierce fighting between armed group Abu Sayyaf and allied fighters on the southern island of the Philippines. In the largest single-day combat losses by government forces this year in the south of the country, where the military has long battled Muslim separatist rebels and communist fighters. 3 military officials told a local news agency that heavy day-long fighting took place in Mindanao in the island of Basilan. Local media reports that about 100 Abu Sayyaf fighters clashed with troops and 4 of the soldiers had been decapitated. The evacuation of wounded soldiers was continuing over the weekend. Finally, India's pre-monsoon heat has intensified, forcing thousands of people to stay indoors as they struggled to avoid blistering conditions. Much of the country was reeling as temperatures continued to rise. Daytime highs were running up to 7 degrees above the seasonal average. Conditions were almost as severe across southern India. Temperatures were comfortably hovering between 41 and 34 degrees. Some 66 people have died from sunstroke this year. These temperatures will continue to rise until the summer rains arrive on the southwesterly monsoon, but those rains are not expected to arrive until about the 1st of June. That's all from us today. We'll be back at the same time tomorrow. Until then, thank you and goodbye.